Today's episode of the Fan Feed Podcast is brought to you by Bonnier Jewelry. Trade deadline. We're here. It's week 10. Gosh, this football season is just flying by. We're already in week 10. Today at 4 p.m. Eastern time, the NFL trade deadline ended. And we know that for a lot of you, your fantasy league trade deadlines are coming up soon. Playoffs start in about 5 weeks. So this is crunch time, ladies and gentlemen. So thanks for joining us. We're going to cover the NFL trades that went down today in this past week, just the hot ones and ones that are relevant to fantasy. Talk about the fantasy fallout, and then we're going to talk some buy low, sell highs, and waiver pickups, guys to stash for your playoff push, playoff runs. But yeah, if you are just now tuning in, you've never been here before, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you can be notified whenever we post videos. We're live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, right around 7 p.m. Also, follow us over there on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're live on all those. And then if you don't have time to listen to the streams, you can always listen to us later on podcasts. Anywhere where podcasts are streamed, we're there. If you go and listen to us anywhere, please leave a review. Let us know what you think about the show. But for tonight, please come and hang out with us. Ask us all of your fantasy football questions. Let's go crazy about this trade deadline. And I'm going to hand it over to Alex now. Alex, how are you, man?
I'm good. It's been a crazy day of NFL news all over the place, not just the trade deadline, but also the Jakobi Brissett news and the soft benching of Kyler Murray kind of shaking the league just a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about all the things that happened today, how they affect the fantasy football world, and a lot more. Tom, how are you doing?
I'm great. It's been a crazy day. Like you said, it's been a crazy day for NFL. Really, really awesome news. We're going to get into the Jakobi Brissett, basically resurgence. I'm excited. So, really, really awesome day for NFL news. So we got a good show coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I do want to ask you guys before we start, Cam, what was your Halloween costume this year?
Oh, I went as me. I didn't do it this year. I know. I'm so lame. I'm like, me and my wife talked about it. And yeah, there is this one meme that I thought would be hilarious to dress up as. It's you've probably seen the reel. It's like these two really hillbilly looking like young kids. They're not kids. They're like teenagers. And the girl's like, all right, listen here, everybody. We got to tell y'all something. We are not siblings. And then the guy comes up and he's like, listen here, y'all. I'm sick of it's a really niche meme, but we were going to dress up as that. We thought that would be funny. But of course, that looks like nobody knows what it is. So probably better I just didn't dress up or else people would have been like, okay, cool, dude.
Dom, did you have one?
I did. I went as me and my girlfriend were Wally and Eve.
Nice. I saw that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it came out pretty nice. I was like begging her to do something like sports related, and it just didn't work out. I lost that battle, but it came out really nicely.
Gotcha. I had an old Patriots sweatshirt lying around, and I decided to cut the sleeves off it and go as Bill Belichick right here.
Oh yeah, girl.
That's
however,
nice.
I wanted to make it a more fun costume, so I got a prop with me. Everybody meet Jordan Hudson with me right there.
That's fantastic.
I had an inflatable Jordan Hudson in a UNC shirt and a sash. I brought it around with me all around my college and into the UNC versus Syracuse game where hopefully Belichick spotted it in the crowd. I'm not entirely sure if it happened, but I hope so.
Do you think he would have liked it?
I think he would have hated it, but
he would have liked it. She would have hated it.
That's right.
I don't know. I saw her too. She was there. I was going to go introduce her to.
Or she wouldn't even let him like it.
No, probably not. That's true. But yeah, moving away from Halloween, the next big event in the world obviously was the trade deadline, not the World Series. And we care about the NFL here. So
that's right.
I do want to talk about some of the huge trade deadline moves. We had the Rasheed Shaheed, the Jakobi Meyers, and then the trades that weren't exactly like fantasy relevant, but still do have some effect, such as Sauce Gardner trade. So I want to ask first, starting with the Rasheed Shaheed trade. I saw Chris Olave sad on Twitter. He had his first tweet in 6 months today. It was just a sad face. But what do you guys think? Who's the winner fantasy-wise from this Rasheed Shaheed trade? Cam, let's go with you first.
So I love Shaheed in the Seattle offense. I think it's such a good fit. If you remember, Clint Kubiak was the OC for New Orleans last year. And those first 2 games, Rasheed Shaheed had 2 of his best games in his career before he got injured. And yeah, I just think this offense could really use a field stretcher. Torrey Horton's been playing really well, especially this past Sunday. He played a great game, but Shaheed just gives you that like speed threat. And I think Shaheed is a pretty underrated receiver overall. So I just love this trade for the Seahawks, and I love it for Rasheed Shaheed. Like if I have Rasheed Shaheed, which I do in Dynasty, very excited to see how that pans out. It's also great for Olave, now he's just like the sole target earner. And then Torrey Horton, he's probably the one most affected by this trade. I think this just dampens it kind of puts a ceiling over what he can be in that offense already with JSN. And now Shaheed, you got the tight ends playing well. You just wonder what Horton's going to add fantasy wise.
We've got Cam going all over, covering all the bases, all the players we're going to talk about here in the first segment. But Dom, you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, I think I would be so crazy to say that Brandon Cooks might have some value in deeper leagues, mind you, before you guys everybody gets like, no, it's the Saints. Tyler Show is throwing to him. I agree 100%. I don't think this Saints offense, other than Olave, I even think Kamara is still very sketchy for me starting. But I do think that Brandon Cooks in deeper leagues has some upside. He's going to be used as that field stretcher now. Even I think his name is Devon Vele. Yeah, Devon Vele. I think he may have some fantasy depth. He might even jump above Brandon Cooks if Spencer Rattler comes back, and hopefully he does for all Saints fantasy player owners' sakes. But I do think Shaheed can succeed in this offense. I think this affects Cooper Kupp when he's in that offense. I don't necessarily like Cooper Kupp, but I don't think that this bodes well for him regardless. I think Torrey Holton is going to be A-okay. I think that he has a bona fide role in this offense. I just think that Shaheed is that field stretcher that they really needed in Seattle. And obviously Sam Darnold really benefits as well.
I kind of disagree with you there with Torrey Horton. I think that he's going to, for this year, I don't think he's going to see as much of a role with Shaheed there, especially since he's getting a lot of currently long touchdown receptions, and that's kind of what Shaheed specializes in. Someone I think is kind of an underrated guy who's going to benefit from this is Juwan Johnson, who's going to get some of that red zone work back when Rasheed Shaheed's gone from the offense. But yeah, I agree. I think that Shaheed himself is the biggest winner because now he's in an offense that has a quarterback who's been throwing some of the best downfield balls of all time. Honestly, I've seen some charts with him and May having the 2 best downfield passing seasons of all time right now. Drake May mentioned, I know I'm a Patriots fan. Sorry for that. But yeah, I think Shaheed's the biggest winner from this, and Juwan Johnson, a little bit of an underrated one. We do have some questions in chat if we want to hop on those before we go to the next trade.
Cool. Shout out Derpy.
Derpy 501st2 said, I want as a depressed Cleveland sports fan. Cavs hoodie, Guardians hat, Browns 2 depressing to even include. That's pretty good.
I got you. Don't worry, Derpy. I got you. I'll include it for you.
If this is the same Derpy, I'm just curious. I think he's a Steelers fan, so I'm so curious as to why he went as a depressed Cleveland fan. Maybe just a troll. He is a derp.
That's funny. And then NBear06, no idea who that is. Probably not my roommate, Noah Bear. Is Pacheco a long-term winner since the Chiefs didn't feel that they needed to go out and get a running back to help? I think so. The guys on this pod are not big Pacheco fans. Yes, Smith is going to have a good role in the future. I think Kareem Hunt is still on his way out, and when Pacheco's healthy, he's still the main guy. and he's been good for them when he's healthy. I don't think we've seen fully healthy Pacheco since 2023. But yeah, I still think Pacheco's a long-term winner. He's not that old yet. Maybe they draft a running back, and I eat my words. But yeah, it seems like they didn't need running back help from Breece Hall, or at least not at that price for a one-season rental.
Correction, they did draft a running back, and his name's Brashard Smith.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, he didn't perform this week, but hopefully he does soon.
He's a winner in the sense that he didn't get pushed further down the depth chart, so I do agree with that. It's just a gross committee right now, and that's mainly why I'm more on Brashard, just because he catches more passes. So there's a higher potential, I think, for him. Pacheco and Hunt are just very touchdown dependent, but yeah, Pacheco definitely still a winner. Did you see that they offered a fourth for Breece Hall?
Did they? I did not.
They offered a fourth, and the Jets were just stuck on getting a third, and the Chiefs wouldn't match that price, which I think is ridiculous. But it was very close to Breece Hall being a Kansas City Chief.
I'm surprised that the Jets wouldn't accept the fourth, because the Jets are going to have to extend them after this year or just lose them to free agency. But they could at least get a pick out of it if they had traded them.
Exactly. So. And Breece even posted on Twitter, like, I didn't see the tweet, but he posted something on Twitter, basically like very blunt, like, trade me. And yeah, this just feels gross. It feels like it potentially feels like they're going to like tag him going into next year, which just sounds so bad for everyone.
God, imagine being stuck in that Jets team, just franchise tagged. They're not doing it. I'm very, very frustrated about this, because I really like Isaiah Davis. If Breece was traded today, we would be talking about how good Isaiah Davis is going to be in this offense, because he's going to be the focal point. Even with Garrett Wilson back, Breece Hall was a reception machine. It still is a reception machine. So it boggles my mind that they didn't trade him. And it actually makes me very upset, because it would have been like so beneficial for both sides. But
yeah,
I agree with that.
And it just, with the Jets trading like everybody on the team today, is what it felt like. It feels weird that they didn't. They also didn't trade one of their corners, Michael Carter, something like that. Michael Carter. They didn't trade him. And it was just a round difference in price. And it just kind of feels weird that they didn't do that. But they got a ton of picks for the future. I think they have 226 first, 226 seconds, and then 327 first. Carter. Or Michael Carter. There was another guy. Oh, Jermaine Johnson.
Carter. Oh, okay. They traded Michael Carter last week for John Mechie. But yeah,
sorry, I was getting them all mixed up. But yeah, Jets. I'm proud of the Jets for actually tanking. I think that's good for them.
They're doing the same thing they did a few years ago. They're trading for a bunch of draft picks, and then they're going to trade back to prior drafts and get even more draft picks. Last time they tried to make a Super Bowl run with Rodgers. It didn't work out. We'll see how it works this time, I guess.
I can't wait to see them draft Fernando Mendoza, quarterback out of Indiana, and it just be Zach Wilson all over again. Oh,
I don't know if it's Zach Wilson. I think he's way better than. I think he's way better than Zach Wilson. Hopefully he is.
We'll see.
We'll see if he can throw a long, deep pass while rolling to his right like Zach Wilson can.
That's right.
It's pro day. But yeah, Salvatore Leonardo 17 said, I traded George Pickens for Rico Dowdle. I have Jamar Chase, Rasheed Rice, Quentin Johnson, Kayshon Boutte, running backs A-Chain, JT, Scadaboo, and Chuba Hubbard. Did you win the trade, I assume, is your question. Well, It seems like you're going to start Jamar and Rasheed every week, and you're going to start A-Chain and JT every week. So it depends. It's just like you're replacing one flex with another. I don't know. What do you think of this? What do you think of this, guys?
I mean, this week, I think one of our big talking points is going to be like Dowdle is the number one guy in this offense. So I don't know how great it would have been last week if he did it, because he wasn't really the bona fide RB1 yet. I think it's very similar value, because you can get really big booms out of Rico Dowdle, or you can get really bad duds. So Same thing with Pickens. So honestly, I don't see a problem with it. You're just trading a running back for a wide receiver, basically.
Yeah, I would say it's very fair trade. It's scarier on the Dowdle side just because it's been 3 weeks now that he's done this. So he doesn't have that history of being good, whereas George Pickens we kind of know is good, but Pickens we've already seen is kind of his fantasy output has been tempered since CeeDee Lamb has gotten back. Now they've played some tougher defenses. Honestly, I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think you won. I think getting Dowdle is a great move, even though optically it looks like a bad move. This is a great redraft trade because you're trading a big name for a guy who's small name, but Dowdle is killing it. And Canales is just a guru when it comes to run game coordinating. So, I think that was a good trade.
I'm not the biggest fan ever of this trade. I still think that the Dallas passing offense is a fantasy weapon because Pickens has been so good this year. Even with Lamb back, Pickens had a pretty good game this week in a loss. And Dowdle, I think, is just going to be – it's going to be interesting the rest of the season. The good thing is you have Hubbard and Dowdle. The bad thing is you also have Hubbard and Dowdle, and you're never going to know who to start each week. So we'll see how that goes the rest of the season. I think that you had strong running backs already, so you didn't really need the positional value from this trade. But, yeah, I'd say it's pretty even overall. All right. Thank you, TDB 2023. Let's answer this question, then get back to talking about the trades. Adam asks, should I accept Henderson, Judkins, Bam Knight, and Sutton for JT and Vidal? I do have RB holes in my team. My other running back is Kamara. A lot for a bunch of players for a couple players. Cam, what do you think of this?
Give me JT. I love Quinton Judkins. But the rest of those guys are just like, meh. If I'm going to trade JT, I want 2 studs. He's arguably the most valuable player in fantasy football right now. I mean, he's on track to score like 26 touchdowns, which I don't know the last player we've seen score that many touchdowns in a season. So Todd Gurley. Yep. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Like, if you're going to trade that guy, you better make sure you get good players. And you get Judkins, but Bam Knight is like whatever. He's waiver fodder. Sutton, up and down. Henderson. Sorry, dude. You probably got Henderson because we said get Henderson. We were all in on Henderson, but it's just I don't even want to talk about it. Dom, why don't you tell him about Henderson?
No, I don't like it. I had Henderson, and I drafted him in my redraft, my main redraft league, and I traded him away, thankfully, before people started realizing that he, even without Ramondre, he was just not good. For some reason, they don't like to play him, and I don't know why.
Hold on. This isn't a Travion Henderson's not good take. This is a Matt Rabel and Josh McDaniels suck as coaches.
That's fair. Whatever the case may be,
suck as coaches. The 7-2 Mike Rabel sucks as a coach, guys.
He sucks. He's getting carried by Drake May.
Whatever the case may be.
And Kayshon Boutte.
And Kayshon Boutte, but he is not fantasy startable. I just like JT too much I don't know, Sutton's good, but he's gonna have his weeks where it's gonna be Troy Franklin, or it's gonna be Marvin Mims, or it's gonna be RJ Harvey. So I just like JT. I mean, in fact, Vidal you have 1 or 2 more weeks with before Hampton comes out. There's gonna be another injury to running backs, sadly. It's just football. So you're going to be able to pick up another guy off of waivers. There's going to be somebody that comes available. Don't make such rash decisions and panic trade. Panic trading is always terrible. So keep your guys, keep JT and Vidal because you have an RB1, RB2 right now.
Here's what I'll say about this. Vidal is going to lose all his touches pretty soon when Hampton gets back. I will say what you're kind of doing in this trade, though, is you're trading JT, who is probably in your starting lineup every week, for only one player who's going to be a starting running back in the future, Judkins. Bam Knight already is getting out-touched by Amari DiMercato. Travion Henderson is not going to be the main touch guy once we once the Patriots have Ramondre Stevenson back, he's going to go back to his old role. So technically, this trade, I just get rid of the other guys. I see it as a JT for Judkins and Sutton. That's not good enough value. If you can try to do the same trade and get rid of Henderson and Bam Knight and get an actual running back you can start on the other side of the trade, then I might do it. 2 starting caliber running backs for JT and Vidal and getting Sutton as well. I would do that, but Henderson and Bam Knight not really selling me in this trade right here.
Yeah, and I will say on this, he's worried because once he loses Vidal, he'll only have JT and Kamara, and I get that. I just think there's other trades you can make. And I will say I did see a report that apparently Omarion Hampton won't be ready until minimum week 15. That this injury is, it's pretty disappointing. I don't know how true that is, so look into it, but you could have Vidal up until like round 1 of the playoffs. So yeah, if you're going to make a trade with JT, like you got to trade him for 2 guys who I think are good. Like, you could probably get Justin Jefferson plus, that makes me feel way more comfortable than trading for like Judkins and a bunch of others.
Don't panic trade either. It's such a, like, that report may come out in the next couple of weeks. Oh, week 15, Hampton may be back. So you may have 5 more weeks with Vidal, who's getting touches consistently. He's the RB1 in that offense. And I know he didn't perform this week, but the week before he had a fantastic game against the Vikings. Don't panic trade because things come out. Football is crazy. And panic trading, what I've learned in fantasy football, it's the worst thing you could do because you'll regret it instantaneously. Something will come out this week that, Sutton is career-ending injury, so God forbid. But don't panic trade. Just in your 6-3 second-year league, don't panic trade.
You're making a playoff push. I can see why you'd want to trade Vidal. If you can do it for 2 players that are starting caliber running backs, then I might do it in addition to Sutton. But yeah, speaking of the NFL being crazy, though, we saw a crazy trade today. Sorry,
can I real quick? Can we? I feel like this is a really good comment right here that we should just take 1 second to like unpack. Like, what do you do when your league is very stubborn on trades? Like, I know a lot of people in leagues where their league mates won't trade or won't respond to trade requests. It feels like, I got an offer, let me just take it. But like, do you guys have any like advice for when your league is very stubborn on trades?
I would say be stubborn back. Be equally as stubborn because someone's going to budge. I've seen very few leagues go without trades until the deadline. It's practically unheard of. And if so, then that means you just don't have an active league. Be stubborn back. Be okay, you don't want this guy? Well, okay, I'll find somebody else. And people don't like to hear the selling point because they believe what they want to believe. Just be stubborn back. People will come to you with trades. And if you don't like it, don't sacrifice your team to make somebody else's team better. I think that's the main concern with that too.
I agree with that. I also would say if there's people that aren't logging on to fantasy to accept trades or to even look at them, they're probably not logging on to look at defenses on the waiver wire or for anybody on the waiver wire at all. So beat these guys in waivers when you can because they're probably not looking at that.
And I'll just add on to all that because that's all great advice. And I've been in these leagues. It's frustrating as it gets. One thing I've noticed is that I have to be very diligent in sending out offers. A lot of times I like to wait for offers to come to me. I have to look through teams and see what kind of offers I can do. And a lot of them I have to be willing to sacrifice, different players that I might not want to trade. If you have a good receiver, if you put him in a package, you just have to try so many different combinations. Somebody will budge, guaranteed. As long as they're active, like and actually looking, somebody will budge. And try if you can to start a conversation with them. That's the hardest part. Like if you're in ESPN leagues and you don't know these people, like, it's hard to make a deal. But if you can get their number or like on Sleeper, you can message them, start a conversation. Hey, dude, I'm looking to move JT, best player in fantasy football, not trying to just hype him up. He just is. But I'm only got 1 running back. So I'm trying to make some moves. What do you think we can do to make this happen? Sell it as a, hey, I'm trying to help you, help me, like not trying to do anything crazy, but great questions, Adam. And, good luck. Let us know if you can figure anything else out. Yeah, they all respond, but they try to fleece too much is what he says.
Yeah.
And I've been there. I've
that.
been there. You'd be surprised what you could do. One other thing real quick, because I know we got other things to do. DynastyDaddy.com. Look up recent trades. You can go put in your league, and you can put your league settings in. It'll bring up all of your league mates, and then you can look at players that have been traded. And it's like the entire database of all leagues where all trades have happened. So you can see all the recent trades for JT. And so that might give you some extra ideas of what to do. But great questions, Adam. Alex, let's move it. Let's roll.
And this stream is sponsored by DynastyDaddy.com. So moving on to another big thing that happened in the NFL recently, Jakobi Meyers trade. This is a big one for fantasy. Jakobi going from a non-QB friendly situation in Las Vegas to non-receiver friendly situation to maybe a little bit more of a receiver friendly situation in Jacksonville. It's hard to make out what's going on with the Jaguars. Dom, who do you think is the biggest winner from this trade overall?
Jakobi Meyers. I think Jakobi Meyers is going to be fantastic in this Jaguars offense. Every single receiver in this Jaguars offense, except for Brian Thomas Jr., is productive. So I think he's going to run a lot of short to intermediate routes. I don't have the exact stats up, but just watching him play with the eye test, he runs all those short intermediate routes where he's catching slants, drags, comebacks. He's gonna get you a lot of receptions. PPR leagues, he's gonna be fantastic. I don't know if you wanted to ask me who the biggest loser is. I don't know if I said Brian Thomas Jr. Let me say it again, Brian Thomas Jr., just in case you guys didn't hear. If you guys want me to type it in chat, Brian Thomas Jr. is the biggest loser in this trade. I pray for all of Brian Thomas Jr. Commissioners, because this is just like a train that was already crashing just derailed and went off the tracks. So his situation is terrible. I would try to trade him immediately after this. I'm terrified for him, and I'm so glad that Cam has him and I do not anymore in our fantasy football league.
Cam, what do you think about this trade? Who's the biggest winner, and I guess who's the biggest loser? Dom knows.
I guess I'm the biggest loser because I went and traded for him. So I still believe, man. I mean, we don't just have rookie seasons from these guys that are that good, and then they just disappear like that. It just might not bounce back this year. Yeah, the Jakobi trades kind of muddies the waters for the Jags guys because, there was some talk that Parker Washington could be a potential low-key league winner, great guy to get off the waiver wire, and I still would go get him off the waiver wire. We just haven't seen a lot of effort from Jakobi Meyers this year. Hopefully that was just because he played for Las Vegas, but it might take him a little bit to ramp up. And also Travis Hunter's still projected to come back this season. Don't know when that is. He's on IR. So 3 more weeks, I think, minimum. On the Raiders side, I mean, I guess you have to the biggest winner would probably be Brock Bowers, just because he's so sick.
He can't be a winner. He's already winning. He scored 43 points this week.
Yeah, dude. Brock Bowers is just always the winner. I guess Trey Tucker. I'm not a Trey Tucker guy. But it seems like they love him. And so, go get Trey Tucker. I don't think Michael Mayer is going to get much. I think they will play more 2 tight end sets. To me, this whole trade doesn't make me feel like there's a big winner. That's my big takeaway from this.
Yeah, again, we've got Cam listing off all the guys I might talk about.
I'm sorry.
I will say I think that Michael Mayer is an underrated winner from this trade just because the Raiders didn't have that much incentive to go for 2 tight end sets, and now they have absolutely no reason not to run everything out of a 2 tight end set. They have one reliable receiver on their roster, and that's Trey Tucker. And then they've got Tyler Lockett, but they've got the ghost of Tyler Lockett. They've got 33-year-old Tyler Lockett who will not take a hit the rest of the season. I guarantee you that. But I think that Jakobi Meyers is a little bit of a winner from this just because it is a better offense. I'm going to disagree with you, Dom. I don't think it changes anything about Brian Thomas Jr. until Travis Hunter comes back. Once they have all three, it's going to get interesting. They did not move Brian Thomas Jr. at the deadline. A lot of people were saying they might. I think those people were crazy, but that means that they still believe they're going to get rookie Brian Thomas Jr. back. Trevor Lawrence is not the worst quarterback ever, even if he's got some really weird quirks to his game. I think both of the receivers can still survive in this offense and get a good amount of targets each. We have an interesting question in chat that I want to ask you guys about. It's Bronze asking if he should trade Ramondre Stevenson or Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, better known as Bill, for Alvin Kamara. What do you think? What do you think, Cam? What do you think?
Trade JCM from Kamara. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Dom?
I don't know if Cam has him in his room right now, but you probably need 3 garbage bags for that because I don't like any of those guys. I wouldn't do any.
Whoa.
I mean, I'm a Camaro owner, and I'm like, I would do this for JCM, maybe not Ramondre, but I would do that for JCM. I think JCM just has a way higher upside than.
This guy's a hater, bro.
Chris Rodriguez was getting just as many carries as JCM in this last game.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't like this trade in general. I would just kind of leave that, but.
Yeah. Tom, you're just a hater tonight, baby. You just came out firing. You hate Travion Henderson. You hate Brian Thomas Jr. You hate Ramondre, JCM, and Kamara.
Let me tell you guys something. Chris Rodriguez had 12 carries, averaged 5.4 yards per carry in this game. JCM, 12 carries, averaging 3.2. His longest rush in the entire game on 12 carries was 6 yards. JCM, everybody was trying to convince you, he was a steal in the 7th round because of his injury. No, he was your average 7th round running back who got thrown to a starting role and now is getting replaced by a guy who's been a career backup. JCM has no fantasy value going forward. A guy in my Dynasty League traded him for a 2nd and a 3rd round pick. What are you talking about? I would totally trade JCM for Kamara, who is completely taking over their offense now that Rasheed Shaheed's gone. So who do they have to give the ball to? Just Olave, Juwan Johnson. No Kendra Miller anymore. He's injured. He was taking carries. Kamara's getting those back. He had a bad week this week. They played against the Rams. We're down from the get-go. I think Kamara is much more valuable than JCM. Trade JCM right now for Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
All right, quite the mouthful there, but let's move on to the next big trade in the NFL. Sauce Gardner. We were talking before the show about this a little bit, how crazy it was that Sauce got dealed for 2 first-round picks and A.D. Mitchell. Secret little sidebar on the trade. Dom, I'm going to start with you. Who do you think is the biggest winner from the Sauce Gardner trade? Is it A.D. Mitchell or somebody on the Colts?
What do you mean? Like, do you think that I think the Colts defense is like significantly better with him?
Oh, no, I'm talking about fantasy-wise. Fantasy-wise, which of them do you think? So A.D. Mitchell getting traded opens up a few more targets for Downs and Pierce maybe, or it's giving A.D. Mitchell more targets when he's on the Jets. Who do you think is the biggest winner from this?
I wouldn't touch A.D. Mitchell. I just think that Jets offense is we've talked about the Jets offense so much this year with Mason Taylor.
Cam is dead. Cam is covering his head and he's down.
Cam just thinks I'm a hater tonight, and I'm not. I'm just speaking the truth. But I actually really do like Josh Downs after this move. I really like Josh Downs for the past couple weeks. And another thing, I think that going up against this Colts defense now after this week, you should be a little bit more weary to put your wide receivers up against this Colts defense. That's all I'm going to say, because now they're making a push, and they saw what happened with Pittsburgh, and they're gonna lock it down a little bit more. So I would be careful starting wide receivers against them now. A little bit more careful because you have Sauce on your number 1 guy now. So
yeah, I don't think this affects Josh Downs or Alex Pierce at all because A.D. Mitchell wasn't playing. But A.D. Mitchell playing for the Jets is just awesome. It's awesome. I think AD Mitchell is just, I don't think he's like amazing, but he's very explosive. He's good with the ball in his hands. He's had a couple good games between this year and last year when he's gotten the opportunity. Obviously, he's dropping touchdowns, like, dropping the ball before it gets into the end zone. Twice that's happened to this guy. So that's pretty abysmal. But dude, like, look at the Jets. They, Garrett Wilson's still hurt. Who do they have over there? Wide receiver one, like right now, Josh Reynolds, Arian Smith, Tyler
Lazard,
Johnson. I think Lazard still might be over there if he's not hurt. I just think AD Mitchell instantly can slot into that number one receiver role for now until they get Garrett Wilson back. And I just think him getting more opportunities is a really good thing. So he's a guy in a deeper league, like 1000% I'm taking a flyer on him. He's a guy that could perform, and they need weapons on that offense. This is the guy they needed. Go get AD Mitchell.
Don't downplay the effects in the career of Josh Reynolds. I will say Josh Reynolds was amazing on the Lions.
I do like Josh. Yeah, he was good on the Rams too.
He was good on the Rams too, the Stafford teams, and now on the Jets. I do think that AD Mitchell immediately becomes the best downfield threat on that roster. Can Justin Fields get the ball downfield to him? We're about to find out. Maybe the Jets aren't so against letting him play. They weren't directly affected by him dropping the ball at the 1 yard line. So I think he's an interesting guy to look at, see if he gets some targets this week, maybe pick him up. I agree with you. I don't know if either of the two guys on the other team are a huge winner. I will mention, though, Alec Pierce, in the time that AD Mitchell has been gone, like not playing that much, he has taken a way bigger role in the offense. So Alec Pierce might even be relevant going forward because of the last 3 weeks. He's been pretty good. But we'll get to some waiver wire guys later. Let's move on to the next big trade. Or those were the three big trades actually at Fantasy Impact. I do want to now talk about the news that came out today that Jakobi Brissett will be the starter going forward for the Cardinals. Cam, who do you think this gives the most benefit to? Who becomes fantasy relevant after this?
Michael Wilson is dead, baby. Bring on Marvin Harrison. It's so good for Marvin. We saw it last night. He still didn't break 100 yards, which was just so disappointing. But
he broke 6 receptions.
He broke 6 receptions
in his career.
And Jacoby's just a guy like somebody needs to do a study on all these quarterbacks that came out of New England behind Tom. Jacoby, Jimmy. I think who's the guy that backed up?
Jarrett Stidham.
Who's Jarrett Stidham? I think Jarrett Stidham's good. He played a game for the Broncos like 2 years ago. It was like the end of the season against the Raiders. He threw like 4 touchdowns and like 350 yards, and he played great that game. So like all these guys have played well. Mac Jones. So anyway, back to Brissett. Brissett just the offense is like functioning. It's like it's moving really well. This is great for Trey McBride. Jakobi just knows how to get it to his guys. So it's good for McBride. And at receiver, it's just Marvin Harrison. Like, I think Marvin Harrison's going to bounce back. And this is just so good for him. He's been so down bad the last 2 years. So to see this, I'm just so happy for him. And Kyler, I don't know what's going to happen to him, dude.
I see Kyler saying goodbye to Arizona at the end of the year. That's where Kyler's going.
He might go to the MLB.
Possibly. I just know. Maybe he'll play for the Diamondbacks in Arizona. He won't be touching a football in Arizona unless it's on another team. I completely agree with Cam. I promise I won't be a hater on this take, Cam. I love this for Marvin Harrison. I love this for the entire Cardinals offense. Trey, McBride. I love it for Jakobi Brissett too. I don't think people are talking about that enough. He's genuinely startable. If Joe Flacco is startable in the year 2025, Jakobi Brissett is startable on the side. And we saw it last night. It genuinely brought a smile on my face because I'm like, wow, everything is moving now. Everything is going according to plan now. And I don't know why it had to be because of Kyler, but then thank goodness it's Jakobi Brissett now because I couldn't stand to see another week of Trey McBride or Marvin Harrison, more than Trey McBride, getting screwed over. Now, I do think that this means a little bit more dysfunction for the running backs. I don't think the run game is as strong. I think we saw that with Amari DiMercato getting more touches than Van Knight. I don't think anybody knows what's going on until Trey Benson comes back. But for receiving wise, I think it heals everything.
Yeah, I agree. Even when Trey Benson comes back, this is going to be a pass-first offense for the rest of the season. And Jakobi Brissett, in his 3 weeks as a starter, he had 26 points, 24 points. This week, 29 points. He is a startable fantasy quarterback. I said this about Joe Flacco a few weeks ago. Do not sleep on the old washed-up dudes on new teams. We saw it 2 years ago with Geno Smith. We saw it last year with Sam Darnold. We're seeing it this year with Joe Flacco, Daniel Jones, and Jakobi Brissett, all going to new teams, all finding their way into fantasy relevance. I would actually be starting him over a lot of the guys that I was drafting, over guys I was saying were 10th round picks. I would start him over Justin Fields. I would start him over even guys like Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, JJ McCarthy. I would start Jakobi Brissett over them because he's in a high volume offense. He's got pretty good weapons, and he's performing fantasy wise.
You guys want to hear a funny story?
Sure.
It's my redraft league, my main one. It's been a terrible year for me. Just nothing's gone my way. So I'm like 3-5 going into this week. So I had Flacco, but then, obviously he has the AC sprain in his shoulder and he's questionable. He ends up playing, but I'm like, dog, he's 40-something years old, shoulder sprain, no way. So I dropped Flacco and picked up Brissett. Okay.
Wow.
Good move, right? But Flacco ends up putting up 38 points. Brissett put up 28. I lost by 6 points.
No.
Oh! Yeah, that's all I got for you.
That's
Welcome to the pain of fantasy football. Type F in the chat to pay your respects.
In other news, in the FanFeed Writers League this week, I started Joe Flacco, and we have some boosts that Cameron put in the league for passes over 40 yards and yards and touchdowns over 40 yards, which led to Joe Flacco scoring 46 fantasy points in that league. So absolutely carrying my roster to 6-3.
How are we doing in the standings in that league? Where are we at? I know I lost.
I am currently tied for 4th, 11 points behind. I assume, Dom, that's you, Damo, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Yep, Dom's in 3rd, 10 points ahead of me. And then Cam, you are on a losing streak. You are 4-5, but you're still in 7th.
I'm knocking on the door, baby, and just wait.
Yeah.
I like
you're in that wild card spot.
That's right. I like the 6th seed. Just wait. Brian Thomas going to pick it up by week 14.
I'm thanking my lucky stars that I picked up Kyle Monangai.
That was a
great pickup.
We've been talking about him for a couple of weeks.
He's and second. I was reading something. Second all-time rushing leader in a single game for the Chicago Bears. I think Walter Payton has him beat by 1 game. So
no way, Walter Payton only rushed for that many yards once. That's hilarious.
That's insane.
Yeah, I was reading. He's the second player, second all-time.
Seeing Kyle Monangai's name next to Walter Payton's name is that should not be allowed. That's a fireable offense.
Yeah, I mean he's good. He did his thing. We'll talk about that later.
It's a good game for him. So we've covered the big bases. We've covered the big NFL news from today. Let's move into some of the big performances or the duds that some guys set up or put down this week. They're going to be a buy low, sell high. I'll give you a guy. Let me know if you're going to buy low on him. If you're going to sell high, do something else. Maybe you're going to buy high on them. And let's start with a guy who's underperformed so far this year. He only had like 1 game over 13 points. And then he went off for 24 this week in the shootout. DJ Moore, what do you make of him? Cam, you buying high? You selling high? What are you doing with DJ Moore if you have him?
If you could sell him high, sell him high. And dude had not done anything all year. This was a weird game. I saw a meme about the Rome Odunze getting 0 points. And it's like a guy just like, how is this possible? How is this possible? And the other guy responds, I don't know. Because Caleb Williams had like 30 points. DJ had a good game, made some mental mistakes that I don't think Ben Johnson was very excited about. The fumble at the goal line. Yeah, I'm not very interested in DJ Moore. The team has become more run focused. They have Rome, they have Luther, who will come on soon. Colston Loveland had a big game. No thanks. Sell DJ Moore for what you can get.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Dom?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. And a sliver of me wants to hold and see what happens with him because I think people we're waiting for this week to happen, but I don't see the value. I would rather get rid of him for a way more consistent. I'd trade him for Marvin Harrison right now, since we were just talking about him. That's a guy I would do a 1-for-1 for. Him, Jordan Addison, those guys. I really do like those guys, and I would just capitalize on what he can get because just like Cam said, he's not the main guy in this offense.
Yeah, and I would also say I don't know if there's ever been a more fluky standout game from a receiver. He had 2 touchdowns in this game. One of them was a passing touchdown. One of them was a rushing touchdown.
Okay, yeah.
So
I
not
was
things
trying
you're
to
going to see
remember if we
every
had
week
that.
from him. It was pretty funny. So yeah, if you have him, I would find a way to trade him away for somebody underperforming right now for sure. I agree with y'all. How about another guy who is supposed to be the bell cow of his offense, not living up to the hype right now? Woody Marks. What do you make of him, Dom?
I would hold. I don't see if you could buy him for something lower, I would try to do that. I don't see the appeal of selling him or trading him away. I like him as a hold. If you have him, hold him. It was a tougher game. We all knew that this game was gonna be tougher for him. I don't see Joe Mixon coming back anytime soon. I think that'll be if they make the playoffs, he comes back, but even then, what value does he have? Woody Marks is the more productive back in this offense, pass catching wise as well. So PPR leagues, he's really, really good. Hold them. I don't think there's a need to sell or if you can buy him for low, buy him for low. But for me, he's a hold.
Cam, how about you?
Totally agree with Dom. I'm not phased by this game. I didn't think he would have a good game against Denver. He's just not a guy that's going to get you, up to 100 yards per game, even 80 yards per game. He's going to get 50 to 60 in this current offense and then maybe get some more work in the passing game. And that's really where his value stands. So his ceiling's like a 12 to 15, maybe sometimes 20-point guy. So yeah, I'm not really buying super low on him unless I'm really down bad. But I'm also not selling. I'll hold on to him.
I agree with y'all. He's definitely a hold for me. If you could buy him low for somebody like a Bam Knight or a Amari DiMercato, somebody that's going to be good for the next couple of weeks, I would do it. But otherwise, just leave him where he is. I think he's going to be somewhat serviceable in fantasy, but he's not. It's not a top option. Let's move on to the next guy, another guy who benefited from the Giant shootout. There's a few of them on my list. Caleb Williams had one of his best games of his career, fantasy-wise, in this game. What do you guys think of him? Is he a sell high candidate? Would you hold on to him? What do you think about him? Tom, let's start with you.
That's my boy right there. That's my boy. I'm so glad he did well.
I know he's both your boys, but yeah.
Caleb's such an interesting guy because I think that he has so much value in both aspects of passing and rushing. I would hold him. I wouldn't sell him. I think that he's a great QB1. I think they're starting to figure things out in that offense. I don't think you start him over somebody like I was going to say Jaden Daniels. I stopped myself.
Rest in peace,
Yeah,
Jaden Daniels.
yeah. Rest in peace his arm. I wouldn't start him over somebody like that. But he's a great he's a top 10 quarterback in the league now. There's not many good quarterbacks you can start week to week. Caleb Williams,
top 10.
Yeah, I would place him fantasy, not not like football, like fantasy.
Yeah, I know you meant fantasy.
But yeah, I do really think he's a hold. I like his upside. I think he's gonna have games like this over and over again. Maybe not catching passes, but he had rushing touchdowns, not last game, but in at least past 2 weeks before last week. So yeah, he's I would hold on to him.
No, if I can, I'd like to trade him. I think he's that was an easy game. I mean, obviously it was a hard game to win as a team, but that defense for Cincinnati is worse than last year. And like Alex said at the top of the show, these older guys are balling right now. So like, just because I have Caleb Williams in my lineup, it makes the roster screenshot look sexy because I got Caleb Williams, but I'd rather be just trucking it with like Joe Flacco and Jakobi Brissett. Like if I could trade Caleb Williams for Jakobi Brissett and then get get Michael Pittman, someone that you can start on your team. I just think that's the way I would try to do it. So no need in having a Caleb Williams who is probably more prone to having bad games than currently Joe Flacco. Even Brissett has averaged like 25 to 30 points these last 3 games. So I'd sell Caleb if I could.
I agree with you, Cam. I was only saying he's one of your guys because he's throwing to your guy, Luther Burden. But
he doesn't throw to my guy. That's the problem. That's why he's no longer my guy. He's a hater, just like Dom.
True. I would also sell him. I like a lot of other quarterbacks who are compared to him a little bit more. I like Dak Prescott more. I like Jackson Dart more. I honestly would roll with Jakobi Brissett over him in future weeks. It was kind of a game where Caleb Williams, he was having a good passing game. He was, and then he had that touchdown at the very end that carried it over to be a great fantasy performance. But outside of the 2 games against Dallas, and then outside of the game against Dallas and this game this week, that was a crazy shootout, an anomaly game. I'm not so sure I would rock with Caleb Williams as my starting quarterback in fantasy.
Yeah.
We already talked about this next guy, so let's move on. We don't need to talk about Commandant guy. We talked about him a bit. So let's talk about Pop Douglas, Patriots receiver, my team. Cam, what do you think about Pop?
Can we stop trying to make Pop a thing? I don't think Pop is very good. The only reason he's good is because there's no other options, and he's only good every now and again.
No other options.
Did Boutte play?
Booty was out after the first quarter. He got injured early in the game.
And Diggs is there, so Diggs is a good option. I just don't Douglas is just going to be up and down all week. I don't even think you can depend on him or sell him high. I'd probably just find somebody else. Amen.
Dom?
Yeah, same thing for me. I don't see him as somebody you could really sell high. If you can sell him high for somebody, I would do it. If you could sell him for like a Keenan Allen or something, someone's scared of, I would do that. Something in somebody in a better offense, but I don't see him as a. No offense to you, Alex. I don't see him as a good player. There's Hunter Henry. You got Diggs. You got Booty when he comes back. So it's just, it's too many weapons there.
We've talked about the Patriots offense a few times here, and I've tried to remain unbiased. And my most unbiased take is it's a revolving door. It's a carousel of which one Patriots receiver is going to have a long touchdown reception this week. It's been Pop Douglas a good few weeks this year. This week he benefited from the fact that Kayshon Boutte was out first quarter, but I did see Kayshon Boutte posted in his Discord server, which is a very reliable source from him himself. He said he had a grade 1 hamstring strain, and he will likely be back this week. And Stephon Diggs still the wide receiver 1 of the offense. Pop going to take a wide receiver 3 role. Yes, he'll probably have some long touchdowns. Dom has fainted from the mention of Discord on the Fan Feed pod. But yeah, I agree with y'all. Pop is.
That's a crazy pull. Kayshon Boutte's Discord.
I'm not in it. I saw this on Twitter, but. Yeah, I might have to go join. Kayshon,
sure.
I'm gonna go join it. Believe me on that. I didn't know that one of our players had a Discord server where he announces his injury updates. I can be the first one to Twitter with it. He tags at everyone. But yeah, moving on. Buy low, sell high. This is a guy I had in a lot of leagues this week, and he was on my bench in all of them. Colston Loveland. Let's start with you, Cam. What do you think of him?
I love Colston. It was a matter of time, baby. It was only a matter of time. And there's all this slander about the Bears should have taken Tyler Warren and all this stuff. Look, I liked Colston Loveland better than Warren. I still like Warren. He's playing lights out. but Loveland is a dog, and we saw it in this game. He finally got more opportunities. That last touchdown was just nothing but heart. And if you can buy Loveland, buy Loveland. Love it. Start him in your flex.
Buy high, Cam says.
Yeah.
Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, buy high.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that Warren take. I'm a diehard Bears fan. I don't know about that Warren take, but yeah, no. If you can get Loveland for, I don't know about buying high. He's gonna have his games. As a Bears fan, he's going to have his games. He's gonna have it just like DJ Moore had his game. Odunze's gonna have his game. And this all depends too on if Kmet is out. I think if Kmet is out, go ahead, go grab him. Especially if he's on most people's waivers. I think I've seen that he's on 24% rostered. So the other 76% of you, please go roster him. But if he is rostered, try to trade for him. See if somebody will take a Kamara or somebody. Include him in a bigger trade. Sometimes people don't notice those things. I would personally wait to see what he does this week. If he comes back down to earth, then I would buy him. But yeah, if you could have him on your team, that's a great tight end 2 with tight end 1 upside.
I think he's an interesting case because I think he's benefiting a lot from Cole Kmet being out. This time, Cole Kmet left the game before halftime. He had a concussion, so he might not play this upcoming week, and Loveland's going to be great again. Following that, they still were throwing to Kmet more than they were throwing to Loveland when Kmet was healthy. So it's going to be an interesting one to see. I love him in Dynasty. If you can buy high in Dynasty, people think, oh, we're selling high on him. Do that. If you can get him in Dynasty, Loveland's going to be amazing. I see them having no reason to keep Kmet after this year. He does have a good job. He does a good job in the blocking, but still, I would say, yeah, in the future, I love Colston Loveland. Sports Zone 76 says he'll be good for the rest of the season. I could see that happening, especially if Kmet gets phased out a little bit, but we'll see what happens. We do have some questions in chat that we could hop into and answer quickly before we move on to our next guy. First is from Adam, who asks, what do we think about Olave and his QB situation? I think nothing has changed, but Cam, what do you think?
Yeah, you just got to give the Shuck man some time. Game's got to slow down a little bit for him, but look, dude, he might be the truth. He also might be terrible, which I'm probably pretty sure he's terrible. So, yeah, Olave's a guy who he's probably going to be fine. He just isn't. He's not going to get you 20 points a game, and I don't think you were drafting him with that in mind, knowing that Spencer Rattler was quarterback. So, like Alex said, nothing's changed for him.
Yeah, I mean, I want Olave to do good so badly. I love Ohio State receivers, and it's kind of sad that we're seeing this happen in real time. He's wasted. It's such a similar situation to Garrett Wilson. It's just great receiver, injury prone, bad quarterback play. It's just really depressing, and I would love to see him do well. I think Spencer Rattler's the answer over there, but until he goes back in, I don't really like Shao for him. Shao's just terrible. And if I must interrupt, I am very sorry. I have a little segment for us. I just got requested a trade. If you guys want to.
Tell us about it. I can't read your screen, but tell us about it.
It is a 1-for-1 trade. We'll do this live on the stream. I have Alvin Kamara. Somebody offered me Deebo Samuel for Alvin Kamara.
Here's what I'll say about that. It looks like the Commanders are not going to rush Terry McLaurin back at all. And as long as that happens, Deebo is the number 1 wide receiver. Marcus Mariota is not an awful quarterback. It depends. What are your other running backs? What are your other receivers?
I'll read you my team. My other running backs are Rico Dowdle, Bijan Robinson, Travis Etienne, Alvin Kamara, and Kenneth Walker.
Okay. And your receivers?
My receivers are Devontae Adams, Rome Odunze, Marvin Harrison, and then Wando Robinson.
I'd do it. Yeah, I'd do it. You have
I think
4 possible starting running backs still if you do it.
We do it? We'll do it live on stream. Hold on. I got this.
Live on stream. That's great.
Live on stream. Crazy.
Live on stream, accepting a trade. What does the trade analyzer say about it?
It says I'm winning. Oh no, it says he's winning.
I don't care.
82-78.
Trade analyzer's always wrong. Do it.
Do it.
Oh,
another button. Good job.
Yay.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. That was fun.
Somebody in the comments said do it.
Multiple people said do it. Yeah. The fans agree with us on that.
I love it. Fanfy pod helping me win my league. Sorry I had to interrupt your question, Adam. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
That's funny. I have Adam Olave. Yeah.
Sorry, I got another one.
Live on stream, back to back, baby. Accept. Hit accept.
It's from Cam. It's Rasheed. He wants Rasheed Rice or Brian Thomas. I think respectfully.
What do you think?
Where's the decline button?
What should Dom do? What should Dom do?
Yeah, what should Dom do, guys?
I'd accept. BTJ has such upside. You guys saw him last year.
I think that's a good call.
Decline that trade.
Trevor Lawrence is just getting cooking.
Yeah, I think we'll decline
all right,
that.
Somebody banned Sports Zone. He said no.
Yes, Sports Zone said no.
No,
I'm just
Sports
kidding.
Zone, we
I'm kidding.
you.
You're good, Sports Zone.
No.
Back to Olave.
Yes, back to Olave.
Let me say, Olave has been the wide receiver 9 in fantasy this year with Spencer Rattler as his quarterback. Tyler Shaw, yes, he hasn't been great. He was still throwing Olave the ball in the second half. This last game was kind of just an unfortunate game for their team. I would say that he's still a valuable asset. If you have him on your team, I wouldn't go fretting. I wouldn't go trying to trade him. He's still going to get a lot of targets, especially now that Shaheed's gone. He's going to get even more targets. I don't think there's really anything to do with him. I think he stays about the same. He's not going to be as good as he was week 1 through 7. He's still going to be a top maybe 20 receiver in fantasy for the rest of the season, in my opinion.
And just FYI for everybody's knowledge, Tyler Shuck is how we pronounce it. I thought it was Shuck or Shaw, but it's Shuck. Like all
Tyler
shucks. So Tyler Shuck.
Okay. Thank you for that. I actually did not know how to pronounce his name.
Right. Trey's not here to tell us how to pronounce names, so I got to step in.
Gotcha. Okay. One more guy that I have for buy low, sell high, Dalton Kincaid. I wrote in a start-sit article last week that you should sit Dalton Kincaid. I was not convinced that he had a role in this offense. And then we see him go off against the Chiefs. 2 touchdowns, huge plays for Kincaid. What do you guys think about him, Dom? You first.
I think he's a hold. I don't know his exact point total. Hold on, I'm looking at it right now. I don't know his exact point total from last week. Yeah, he had 22 points. He's fantastic. If you could get him for anything, I would get him. I love him in this Buffalo offense, especially now that he's healthy. He was a little bit in and out of the lineup this past couple of weeks. I love him. If you can get him for a reasonable price, I would, especially if you're a little bit thin at tight end. Tight ends are very hard to come by this year that are pretty consistent. Buffalo's going to be throwing the ball constantly, and he's one of the most safe options in that offense. So I would hold him. I wouldn't really do too much. If you could buy him at a reasonable price, do it. But yeah, I really, really like him in this offense.
Yep. It's hard because he could be like nuclear if he maintains this. It's just hard because there's so many other tight ends who are playing so well right now, who are also good buys. It's like, do I really want to buy Dalton Kincaid when I could also buy Oronde Gadsden? I think it all depends, but I think Kincaid, as much as he's sucked the first 2 years, he's playing very well this year. And that game against the Chiefs was awesome. He's the guy that's stepping up for the Bills. So definitely worth a shot.
I would say I think that Khalil Shakir is still the top target in this offense. I love Khalil Shakir. I haven't talked about him much on the show, but I love the yak merchant Khalil Shakir. Love what he does. But Kincaid's an interesting one. I'm still on the train of thought that Dalton Kincaid is a little bit overvalued in fantasy football. My point last week was that they won 40-9 against the Carolina Panthers, who cannot cover tight ends, and he still only had 3 fantasy points. It's going to be very boom or bust for Kincaid. Some games, I guess he'll be in the game script, but I also saw them throwing to 2 other tight ends during the game. One of them, I have no idea what their name was. Obviously, Dawson Knox is one of them. So I don't think he has that established of a role in the offense, even though he was good this week. If you can, I would sell high, but I can see the just keep him argument as well.
Yeah, decent stash. What do you think about Parker Washington?
If you can sell high, I'd do it because I think his role is going to go down a little bit, but I don't know. What do you think, Dom?
I guess we did kind of talk about that, but
I don't know. I had him as a nice waiver wire pickup this week. I still think he is. Maybe wait for him to have a bigger game. This weekend. I don't know. He's just a weird offense. That offense. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't really bother too much with him. If you could sell him. But you're not getting.
But Brian Thomas Jr. sucks so much that
he's going
to still be a receiver over him, right?
You can't hate all the Jags receivers, Tom. You have to pick one.
I absolutely can.
You got to pick one.
Oh God. Yeah, no. I think he's just a wait at this point. If you have him, great, start him. But until once Travis Hunter gets back, I don't know.
Ooh.
I just don't like that offense for receivers, at least.
Can I bring this
interesting
up?
take?
Look at Adam.
Sorry. Got the owner of Chase and Rico talking about Rico, Chase, and Hall for JT and C. What the? Whoa.
Brees Hall?
No.
It's close.
No.
It's close. You need a little more, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting one because it gives you better running back depth like you wanted. But are Rico and Brees Hall even going to combine for as many points as JT for the rest of the season? In a bunch
Dog. Rico Dowdle is RB9 on the season based on 3 games right now. He's been explosive. I'm just, and Chase is just getting ultra targeted by Flacco.
I like those
Hall,
2 a lot. I like Rico and Chase a lot. Hall, I will say, boomed this week, and every other week has been a dud. Yeah. Does he have another running back that you could trade for instead of Hall? That might make me want to take that trade.
Yeah, let us know, Adam, in the comments. Let us know what the rest of his roster is. We'll help you make this trade live on air.
I know what you mean there, Adam. That's what I was thinking.
Let's hit some of these other questions. Is Rondé Gadsden top 5 tight end rest of the season for fantasy?
Yes. 100%. I think so.
How much would you be willing to trade for him, Dom? Like if you were in a league and somebody had him. He's the leading receiver for the Chargers.
Here's what I'll do. So since I benched Sam Laporta for Rondé Gadsden this past Sunday, I would do Sam Laporta for him.
Damn.
And another player. Yeah. Or
well, how about this? If you had would you trade Rashee Rice for Rondé Gadsden if you were really hurt at tight end?
No.
Just asking.
I've got a question for y'all. Okay. Oh, it's actually a series of questions. Top 5 is a crazy statement, I would say. It is top 5 for just a couple weeks of production is hard to say. I'm going to list off some guys. Would you rather have this guy or Rondé Gadsden? Trey McBride. Jake Ferguson.
Rondé Gadsden.
Whoa! Rondé Gadsden over Jake Ferguson.
Yes, sir.
I'd rather have Jake Ferguson.
No hesitation.
Jake Ferguson, who was the tight end 1 until 2 weeks
ago.
No
hesitation. Rondé. Next.
I would take Jake Ferguson there. Tyler Warren.
No, I'm just kidding. Tyler Warren.
Okay. Tucker Kraft pre-injury. I would have taken Tucker Kraft. He is injured now. Yeah. Brock Bowers. We would like Brock Bowers.
Yes.
And then it gets interesting. Would you rather have I can't really think of any other guys that I'd rather have than Rondé. He might slide into that 5 slot. But Jawan Johnson, Dallas Goedert's been pretty good this year.
Let's see. Yeah, no, Rondé, dude. Rondé. I take him over Laporta.
He's getting treated like a wide receiver, though. That's the thing.
Yes,
Like, if you
that's the
watch
thing.
him play, he's getting treated like he's lining up in wide receiver sets, not even
Yeah.
just tight end sets. He's lining up, like, not on the outside, but, like, not in that tight end spot. They're
Yeah.
treating him like a receiver, way more than a tight end. So, and his targets, he's getting targeted so consistently. Like, let me see. This past Sunday, he had 5 targets versus Tennessee. He had 68 yards on those 5 targets. He caught all 5 of those targets.
Yeah.
That's on 5 targets as well. Like, imagine what he can do with 8 or 9 targets. Like, when they target him way more than this is his floor. That's the scary part about all this. So once he starts getting more involved in this offense, and they're going to involve him more, they don't just look at a tight end that has 68 yards and go, oh yeah, that's just another receiver. Like, they're going to target him more. He's going to get way more work in this offense. He has way better than most tight ends. He has he just had Tennessee. He has, who does he have next? He has Pittsburgh next. So, and they're terrible against tight ends. Yes, they're ranked 30th against tight ends. So,
except against Tyler Warren.
Again, yeah.
Okay, couple questions in chat. Some interesting ones. Could you highlight the one with Easy B? Yeah. I would not do this. He's being offered St. Brown in a better first-round pick for Jay Jettas and a worse first-round pick. Jay Jettas is the best receiver in the NFL. I will stand by that fact. You can say Jamar Chase. You would be incorrect. Justin Jefferson is a more talented receiver than Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase just fed by Joe Burrow and now Joe Flacco. JSN has been great. Justin Jefferson still the best receiver. He's more QB-proof than these other guys. I would rather have Jefferson than any other receiver in fantasy except for Jamar Chase.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting dilemma because so this guy's 2-7. So his 26 first. How early is that easy? I know you put some other comments. I don't know.
Probably second or third. Yeah.
Yeah. If that was like if you were pretty sure that was going to be the 101, you're looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jeremiah Love for Justin Jefferson in the 26 first. Now I'm with Alex. Like, Justin Jefferson is like 2 tiers above Amon-Ra St. Brown for me. He's right there with Jamar Chase, neck and neck. Obviously, the quarterback situation's been kind of iffy, but the goal of Dynasty is winning championships. So I get why you're trying to make that deal. I think it is one to think about. Put it into trade calculator. Maybe it soften up if the other guy could add a little something more to it. But yeah, if that first is like the 102 or 103, I'm not that interested. If it's the 101, I'm probably a little bit more interested.
It's a complicated one because, yes, you are technically in first and favored to win. Wow. Oh, it's a 12-man too. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you really want to win this year, or do you want to have a better chance of winning multiple years in the future? If you are all in to win this year, I would do the trade. If you're all in to win this year and next year, I'd do the trade. If you want to win more down the line, I would.
So a better option that I would be way more in favor of is like Rashee Rice in a first, or even JSN in a first. Those guys are a little bit less of a tier for me. JSN or Puka. He's also another guy that I think are right there. That doesn't feel like quite a jump, as much of a jump as Amon-Ra. Maybe I'm just an Amon-Ra hater, but I just don't think that offense is playing very well. So yeah, but it really depends on the first. If you were giving a second and you kept your 26 first too, that's another option. Justin Jefferson's just, like we said already, a couple tiers above Amon-Ra. So,
yeah, honestly, I might accept this trade because you have a pretty good chance of winning this year or next year in your dynasty league. I might change my mind. Dynasty league is pretty. I like Jefferson a lot more, but still, just this year with Jefferson having trouble with JJ McCarthy and that not being developed yet, yeah, I might do it.
Sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah,
that's a really, really hard trade.
Yeah,
I'm going like back and forth in my head about this. I don't know, because I'm on the side of like Alex, where he's saying like Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the league, and there's no question to be asked by that. He just has,
Jamar Chase. I think he's
I
better
don't
than
know.
Justin Jefferson.
I don't.
Next
I think
question.
Next question. We
Yeah.
got, should I trade Bijan and Dowdle for CD and A-Chain? All together now. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Do it.
Yep. That's a great
Yeah.
trade. Great trade. We love A-Chain here.
100%.
This is a pro A-Chain podcast.
A-Chain is awesome. CD is technically a buy low right now. I would do it 100%.
Oh, Rico will be in bye week for round 1 of playoffs. Hold on. So that's a crazy statement. Do your playoffs start in week 14? Because I think playoffs don't start till week 15, typically.
Yeah.
I think week 14 is the last
14,
week of the season.
15. In some leagues, week 14, 15 is round 1 of the playoffs, and then 16, 17 is the next.
Oh, the doubled up.
Playoffs,
Oh, that's trash. Yeah, you can't do that.
Okay.
Sorry, dude. You can't do that. I mean, that's
no, but he's trading Rico.
Wait, no. He would be getting Rico, right?
Wait.
Hold on. Am I missing this?
No, should I trade Bijan and Dowdle for CD and H-N?
Oh, I think that's a different question. So Bijan,
what?
Dowdle, CD, H-N. That's
a different.
Oh, okay.
That's a different person.
He was
That's
responding. I see. Well, Adam was going to trade for Dowdle too. Adam was talking about Rico, Chase, and Breece Hall for JT and CD Lamb.
Depends on your league settings, I will say.
Yeah. And you could get. He said Kyron Williams is also available. Do you like Kyron over Breece Hall?
Yeah.
Yes, if you could get him to do Kyron, if you could get Kyron and what was it, Rico, Chase, and Hall. If you could get Rico and Kyron, Rico, and Kyron. Wait, I'm so confused now. JT and CD. You're trading JT and CD. You get Rico, Chase, and Kyron for it. I would totally do it. If you have to downgrade in receivers, like if he has like a Rasheed Rice or somebody like pretty close to Chase, then I would still do it. Yeah.
It's very close. It sucks to give away JT and CD in the same trade, but I think Jamar is balling right now, and those two running backs can kind of make up for the JT stuff. You could also just roll with JT. I don't know. It's just tough. Good for you, Adam. This one, trade Olave for Devontae Smith.
I wouldn't do it. No, AJ Brown's coming back.
Oh, I'd do it.
They're sticking with AJ Brown. Olave gets more volume. I wouldn't do it personally.
I would do Devontae Smith for Devontae Smith 100%.
Yeah,
he has
I think Devontae's been playing very well.
Upside. That's cool. Thank you, Easy B. Great.
Shout out Easy B. Hit the sub, by the way. Great vibe, fellas. Thanks again for the feedback. Appreciate you, dude. Let us know if you make that trade and how it goes for you. We want to know if you win your ship, if we did anything to help.
Yeah.
All right. It's 8:50. What do you want to do, Alex?
Unfortunately, we had some guys in the waiver pickups, and well, actually, kind of fortunately, we already covered them all. We talked about every guy on this list. So yeah, if we
want to just run through them really quick.
Sure.
Tell the people who they are.
Yeah. We were talking about Alec Pierce. I do think he might be worth a roster spot now that he's fully taken over the AD Mitchell role. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
All right. Next, Isaiah Davis, huge breakout game this week, but Breece Hall is not traded. Is he still worth a roster spot, Cam?
Yes, sir.
I would, yeah.
Ooh, I don't think he's going to repeat this.
This is a stash.
Yeah, it's a stash. You're not going to start him. It's not like a Manungai situation. I think he's a nice stash in case Breece Hall gets hurt.
Yeah, he's one of the better handcuffs in the league, but with Braylon Allen also coming back, I'm not so sure he's relevant. Trey Tucker.
I like him. I think he's a fantastic pickup.
Yeah. Bend my arm, yes.
Alex, wait, I just see a comment. Easy B's telling me to roast Cam for thinking Chase over Jefferson. His argument is Jefferson with
crazy take.
Chase, and
okay,
I agree.
Brother.
I agree.
That's insane.
I like Easy B even more now.
Look, Jamar Chase played his sophomore year, and that was it in college. He sat out his junior year, still got drafted in the top 5. He has been balling. Yes, Justin Jefferson. We shouldn't even be putting them together. They're like both so good, but put a gun to my head, put me in a room. Just who am I going to take? It's Jamar Chase. No questions. Easy B. Good luck with your team. But, dog, that's a terrible, terrible thought. Everybody says Jefferson with Burrow is so much better. I don't see how you can get much better than Jamar Chase with Burrow. Like, I don't see how. Like, and Jefferson had Kirk Cousins. And not that Kirk Cousins is Burrow. Obviously, they're different. But Kirk Cousins force-fed Justin Jefferson. Burrow has T. Higgins to also sling the ball too. So I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's hard to say Chase is better than Jefferson when Jefferson is having the best start to a career of any receiver in NFL history. And you could say, oh, Chase is catching up to him. We're not sure if Chase is actually going to get there. Jefferson, youngest receiver to ever get to 8,000 career yards, most receiving yards in first 3 seasons. And this was with Kirk Cousins, who is not Joe Burrow. I'm going to go with Jefferson all day.
Yeah, Jamar Chase also has to deal with Zach Taylor, who is an absolute knucklehead of a coach.
They have
every other year, Joe Burrow is out, and every year Jamar Chase is talked about as like a top 3 receiver in the league. Poor little Justin Jefferson can't get it done with JJ McCarthy. Oh, he doesn't throw catchable balls. Shut up, bro. Jake Browning was throwing the ball. Jake Browning was throwing the ball to Jamar, and he was still making it happen. So
what about
now he's got old man Flacco.
What about Harold Fannin?
Harold Fannin, right up there, bro. Right up there.
Thank you for stirring the pot, Easy B. Don't know how we got to this point where we are talking about Jefferson versus Chase on a fantasy show. In fantasy, it's not even a question. Chase is better, but in real life, it's an interesting argument.
I'm in pain.
Well, I just said it's not even a question in fantasy. Chase is better.
Oh, thank you.
In fantasy, yeah. All right. Tyler Lockett. Old. What do you guys think?
Don't touch.
Stay away. He's stinky. And finally, last guy on my list, Colston Loveland is available in 46% of sleeper fantasy leagues.
Yeah, girl. Got to get him. He's the top ad.
Yeah, girl.
Top ad for me.
Yeah. I love him this week. This week with no Cole Kmet. I don't care who he's playing. He's going to be good.
Yep. Can I add to that list really quick? I'll just add A.D. Mitchell. We talked about him briefly earlier. I just think that he's a great stash. Definitely better than, to me, if you're deciding between Trey Tucker or A.D. Mitchell, it's easily A.D. Mitchell. I've already seen Trey Tucker. I've seen what he can do. I do not care. We do not care.
I have one more too.
What's yours, Tom?
Darius Slayton as playing the Bears this week. Terrible secondary. If you need a quick, 1 week wide receiver, somebody's on bye for you, pick him up. I think he's going to do better than Wanda Robinson this week.
Theo Johnson, too, I think could have a good week. But
Theo Johnson, yes.
If Troy Franklin's still out there, because I've seen some of my leagues, like he's still out there, I think he's a great buy. He's wide receiver 27 on the season, and he's been playing pretty well. So, that's all. That's all I'll do. Let's go. I feel all amped up. I got to go to bed.
Well, I mean, I guess you can lead us out and hit the sack, Cam, because that's all we got. That's all I got on our show.
Awesome. All right, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was a great show. Such a good time. Thanks for commenting. Don't take anything too personal that I said. I just get excited. But yeah, so once again, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell for the notifications so that you never miss a video. We're live Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, right around 7 p.m. You can also follow us over there on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, see what we're doing. And then also, if you don't get to listen to the stream right when we do them, no worries. You can listen to us on podcast, anywhere podcasts are streamed. Be sure to leave us a review if you don't mind. And with that, good luck, everybody. As we push towards the end of the season, may all your fantasy teams find the greatest success, and long live Jamar Chase. We will see you next.
Ladies, we did the research for you. Fellas, pay attention. We've partnered up with Bonheure Jewelry. Bonheure is a celebrity favorite eco-friendly jewelry company based in New York City. They're adored by stars such as Emma Watson, Gal Gadot, Katy Perry, Kim Kardashian, Kendall Jenner, and Hailey Bieber. Their designs have been featured in top publications including Vogue, Elle, V Magazine, and on major platforms. We love them. They have great pricing for luxury jewelry. It's something that you can start planning for before the holidays get here and get it early. Click on the link in our show notes below. You can sign up for 15% off your first order. When you support our partners, you support FanFeed Network. Check them out.